Hello friends, how are we doing? Happy Tuesday. Forgot what day of the week it was. I've been streaming so much here lately, it's kind of thrown me off a little bit, and it's hard to keep track. Today, we are going to be taking a look at our Voron, our little pet 3D printer that we've spent the last 2 weeks building. And I am super freaking excited. I've been messing around with it. I spent a lot of time last night working on getting it cleaned up. As you may or may not be able to see, we have cleaned up the workspace quite a lot. There are a few things still kicking around, but while I was working on some calibration and tuning on our little V0, I worked on picking some things up. Also, Mark and all of you playing the home game, we have some fun and exciting things going on. I have been hard at work on getting stream elements working. So we have all sorts of fun commands, like if you type bang invite in chat, we have our own pre-populated tweet. So that way you can invite your friends to come watch and chill as we stream here in the Maker Shed. Still working on figuring out the giveaway system, so that way as time goes on we can start doing some giveaways here in the shed, but the other commands are working, so we have some fun ones. Bang Polymaker, we'll link you to the Polymaker store so you can shop using our affiliate codes. Bang Amazon, we'll take you to Amazon using our affiliate link, so that way you can help support the channel. I've been hard at work at that, but as a quick little test, bang commands in chat should have stream elements. Let us know what all the chat commands are gonna look like. And yeah, that has consumed a little bit more of my time than I anticipated. One thing that I did get done yesterday as well is, Mark, I didn't find the magnet, but I keep 6x3 neodymium magnets in stock, so I was able to get the handle working. So now we have an enclosure that stays closed. It is just VHB taped on per the instructions, but it does everything that it needs to do. It keeps our little printer warm on the inside and the cold from getting into it. We have a couple of things that we need to tackle to make this thing print a little bit more ideal. So I'm having some issues right now with bed leveling. See, the V0 is one of the only printers that I have right now, and let me rephrase that. It's one of the only printers that I have that doesn't have automatic bed leveling in some degree. And that's largely due in part to the fact that the printer itself has a print volume of 120 millimeter cubed. It's a little guy. I mean, if we grab this build plate, this is all the bigger the build plate is relative to the size of my hand. Whereas my Bamboo P1P, which prints 256 cubed, I mean, that's a pretty good size difference between these two. And that's part of why this little thing doesn't have automatic bed leveling, is it's tiny. I mean, it's even small compared to the Bamboo A1 Mini. I was doing some multicolor printing on that last night, and you could even see a pretty good size difference there. The Voron V0 is a little guy. It's a good little printer, and we are going to make it an even better little printer by doing some tuning and calibration. One of the problems that I'm having is the fact that my bed springs are really loose, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell this on camera, but there's like no tension on here. So I'm able to really easily move the bed against the actual carriage. So after racking my brain on that for some time and trying to figure that out on my own, I reached out to somebody who is a little bit more knowledgeable in the subject than I, my good friend Nick, and he told me something that I can do is I can actually go into my clipper config and tell it that the printer has a slightly taller build volume than it does. So that way I can maybe get the bed up just a little bit higher, so when I'm leveling it, we're going closer to the nozzle, which will make it, it'll basically make it to where we should be able to raise the bed just a touch higher, bringing it closer to the nozzle, which means when I am going to level it, I will have more tension on the springs, which will help hold everything a little bit firmer. And that is what I like right now. Or that's right now. That's what I like. I like my auto leveling, or my bed leveling springs to be under some attention. Galvani, how's it going? We are, we're going to be printing a lot of calibration stuff tonight. That's the plan. So the printer is running. I'm about to make a quick little firmware update. So one of the things that I love about using Klipper firmware versus Marlin is it's all browser based, which is amazing. Everything just runs in the browser. And as a result, if I want to make a firmware update, I just have to go in, do a quick little edit to a text document, restart the printer, and we're good to go. That's a great question. There is no probe for auto bed leveling on a printer with such a small build volume. There are mods where you can add one. You can add to the printer. I don't really think it's going to be necessary. The issue that I'm having right now, though, I'm not sure if you were here when I was doing this, the bed is not under very much tension to get it level. So what I did was I went in the Klipper and I told Klipper that the printer was actually 120.5 millimeters tall. So if I issue this auto home command, we should be able to test that. But I mean, it's alive, it moves, it runs. And once I get past the initial Z squish, I got a lot of progress made on tweaking a stock profile for it last night. So, let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. -1. Alright, so I just moved the printer to Z-1 to see how high up that brings us. Now I'm curious, if we take this back to 120, it's not the quietest 3D printer in the world, that's for sure. Definitely not a quiet one. This door is going to be in my way this evening. Uh-oh, it's not the right wrench. We need a big one. I agree though, the Klipper is awesome. I have spent many hours configuring Marlin in my time, and it's quite annoying. It's really easy to remove the front panel off of this printer. The hinges are just these little screws. No, I have not heard of Zero Click. Is that clicky for the V0? So if I move this to minus 0.5, let's see what happens. I'm curious to see how high up it goes before it starts skipping steps. So I'm going to do something silly Also, it looks like I cut myself a little bit when I was popping this panel. I'm going to tighten these bed leveling springs down quite a lot. I want them under tension, and that does make them hold more firm. If I need to, I will actually go in, I'll pop the bed off and add a spacer. But I think part of our problem with getting a good bed level is the fact that we're not under any tension at all in there. Well, see, even that's still moving quite a considerable amount. So part of the issue that I'm facing is when the print head moves, it is grabbing. If I don't have the first layer just right, and the print head moves, it's grabbing the part and it's making the entire bed move around, which that is better after getting it under some tension. Let's see here. Okay, that's cool. Now, I have some filament stuck on the nozzle from my tinkerings yesterday that needs to go. There we are. So then we should be able to move this bad dog back to minus 0.5. I'm only bleeding a little bit. And then, let's see here. Let's see here. There is a command. Let's see if I can find it. There's a command that we can issue, which will actually move the print head to where the screws are. I don't remember the command though, so I have to try to find it. Thank you. I do think it looks awesome too. I'm really excited that this thing is running. Bed screws adjust is our command. So it's really cool. If I issue this command, it will move. So that way we can tweak these in. So this is the old paper leveling that we all know and love. I don't want to go, so I'm going to do this a few times. Because what happens is, for anybody who's ever leveled a 3D printing bed, once you remove some tension from one, the others are going to shift as well. So we're just going to incrementally back tension off of all three. Until we achieve our desired outcome. Being said, this won't be nearly as bad once we get the appropriate Z offset handled. And then we are just looking for the slightest amount of grab. I really cut my finger pretty good. I didn't expect that panel to be so sharp. That is too much. Back that off just a touch. Okay, sounds good. I didn't think that I would, of all the things that I could have hurt myself on in this entire process, you know, the soldering iron, the tools, or the wiring, because I was actually playing with mains voltage, cut myself just opening the plexiglass panel. Like, what the heck is that, man? What a lame way to cause the first injury of this build. Maple Leaf Makers says print. 3D Print Junkies says the bed is so small I leveled mine once and never had to re-level it again. Super glue and duct tape Mark says my super glue is super glued shut. I found this glue last year when I was working on some magnet-based projects. I sometimes will make as a gift these laser engraved and epoxy filled bottle openers. And when I was doing that, I glued my super glue shut. I've been using, what is it, Bob Smith Industries glue, because the stuff cures super quick. Okay, so I'm thinking we're good there now. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to do the Z end stop calibrate. Put gloop and baling wire. My gloop dried out and I need to order more. So, the Voron documentation does not do a great job, in my opinion, of explaining the Z end stop calibrate command. It might be because I'm not as familiar with Clipper, But so it literally just tells me that it's at the bottom of the machine, and then after homing Z, I can use the Z end stop calibrate command to find the correct position end stop value. Well, when I home Z, Z goes all the way to the bottom, which is max build volume. It's actually 120 millimeters is all the way at the bottom. So I don't know. It's kind of confusing to me, I guess. I do know, however, that we do need to go to 60X and 60Y. Now we need to be in the middle of the bed. So if we change this to, are we supposed to actually just change it to 0? Like, is that what we're supposed to do? Like, should it effectively be set at 0? Also, guys, let's try some of the new chat commands. Can somebody type in bang invite in chat and let me know if the pre-populated tweet works? Because I'm pretty excited about that. While I try to figure this out to the best of my ability. Heyo! There's something. Aw, okay. The character limit on... So YouTube has a 200 character limit. The Bang Polymaker link works, except for my Polymaker affiliate link seems to not work. So, like, for some reason, my Polymaker affiliate code, you did, Mark, and I appreciate that very much. I saw that. So for some reason, my Polymaker affiliate link on YouTube, it freaks it out. The question mark in the link makes it cut off. So people are not able to shop using my affiliate link to Polymaker by using the short link. So I wonder if I need to make like a bit.ly or something for that. Let's see. Aww. Okay, so then what I should be doing is I now have my paper under the nozzle and it is significantly more firm than I want it to be. So I should be able to use the Z end stop calibrate command in my clipper console. And then if I do that, ooh, almost perfect. So then if I bring that down 0.1, little too snug. 0.5, ooh, that's really snug. Too snug. Way too snug. Or loose. Too loose. Little better. Little, give that just a touch. Okay, I think I'm good with that. So then, save. should I get, when I issue a save config command, should that give me feedback that something happened, or does it just do it? Reduce the tag before the link and use the at instead of and. Let's rock with it. I wonder if I can shorten this. Save config, reboot. So 3D Print Junkie, if I adjust my offset in the printer, why would I need to also change it in the slicer? Like, I guess so we just manually set it up on the printer. We did the Z offset as well as the bed leveling. What would cause me to also need to tweak it in the slicer if I just did it on the printer? Okay, so I'm with you there. I understand that I don't have a probe, but if we set it on the printer, oh. Manual probe failed. Use test Z commands to position the printer. That was what I did. Silly rabbit. You know what? We're just gonna do this the old-fashioned way. So all the automated commands are all nice and good, but you know, also just come in here and set things manually on our own. Would it not be the same? Is that not the same as like is that not the same as like if you were baby stepping and changing a new Z offset value? So I suppose I was under the impression, okay, that if all I did was if you change your offset, I thought that changed it universally regardless of whether or not you had a probe. I didn't think that the probe was a factor there. I thought I knew it would help if you did have a probe. Okay, so how do I check and see if this saved my value? Yeah, let's try to manually restart and see what happens. Okay. So you are just, you said you manually level your bed using super slicer calibration to set your Z offset. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so question time for those of you playing the home game. Do we try to print something now and see if what I just did made any difference at all? Or should we continue with proper tuning and do our input shaping? Because I didn't run input shaper yesterday either. And input shaper is going to measure the resonance of the frame of the printer to help prevent as many different print artifacts as possible. What do you guys think? Should we just send it, or should we do things the right way? So I kind of know what I want to do. Let's see. So it looks like there are already input shaper values included for the printer. Let's see here. The only time that I've ever actually ran input shaper was on my Ender 3 S1, which is running a Sonic pad and clipper. So I think we need to do some input shaping. Okay. Open the slicer up. Okay. The input shaper test from Clipper is too big for the V0. Can I scale it down? I don't know if that's against the rules. So we have to get this thing tuned. I want it to print really nice. Let's see here. Okay, so we need to change our square corner velocity. No, it fits just perfect. The test that I just downloaded from the Clipper GitHub does not fit in the slicer. I'm gonna try and see if it'll fit in Prusa slicer, even though that's not what I use currently. Okay, so it does fit in Prusa slicer. Why does it not fit? Weird. Aha, there it is. Super odd. I was not able to I wasn't able to manually place it, but I got it. I got it. So I changed my square corner velocity to 5. I need to set my velocity limit to 7,000 by issuing the corresponding command. I really hope that this Z calibration that we did worked. Okay, we need to set pressure advance to 0. Okay. And then gotta issue the command to reset input shaper. And then use the tuning tower command. Okay, that's done. 1 to 2 perimeters. Infill and top layer should be 0. Two perimeters. Actually, we'll do 1 for speed. 0 infill. Okay, what else is required of me? Dynamic acceleration control. I don't think that's enabled. Mostly because I've never heard of it. Yeah, I still need to figure out how links work. Maple Leaf. I don't understand. So I have you set as an approved user, so you should be able to post links. Let's see here. Let's try something here. Yeah, so I think links are okay for approved users and moderators. I didn't have it enabled for like willy-nilly, but external perimeters, 80 to 100 millimeters a second. Yep. 0% infill, 0.2 millimeter layers, minimum layer. I think we're good to go. And as an added bonus, I have successfully got networking set up to where you are correct. I do not. I have a mod, just not here. He is in bed. I got everything set up recently to be able to... Oh, wait a minute. Can I do this here? Oh. Let's see. This is a good time to play with that. Galvani, you say that you are lost. So what we're doing right now is trying to figure out a few items. Number one is why some people can't post links. Number two is we are doing input shaper on the Voron to measure the resonance and make sure that prints are looking good. So this little fella is going to be printing, and it's going to be on our super wobbly table for a little while. So it's a good place to test it. It kind of reminds me of the Maker's Muse video where he tested whether or not wobbly tables are going to affect when Maker's Muse did the video about wobbly tables affecting print quality. Right now, what I'm setting up is the test print for input shaper. So that way it can print super quick. We can do some measurements and basically remove ringing and other such resonance from prints. So that way we have nice, pretty prints, or at least the start of getting nice, pretty prints. So you guys are gonna get to see it actually start moving here in a second, and it's gonna be kinda loud. Might have to figure out a better setup for this. Oh yeah, man. This is real wobbly. This is a $30 Walmart table amount of wobbly. Also, Builder's Mark, you might be able to you may be able to post links now. So we're playing the long waiting game right now, because we're waiting for the print bed to hit temp, which is 105 Celsius. Because this right here is a spool of Polymaker Polylite ABS. I figured, seeing as I'm planning to use this machine to mostly print ABS, it makes sense to do most of my tuning in ABS. He says, look out then. You know, I trust you, Mark. I trust you. I believe that you will use your powers for good. One problem that we're running into pretty quickly here is I need to find my RJ45 crimper. I need to make an Ethernet wire because I misplaced the USB Wi-Fi dongle that Fysetc included, which I'm to understand might have a difficult time connecting anyway. So I need to make an Ethernet cable because I don't want to go buy one and like every other sane, logical, reasonable person, I have a box of 1,000 feet of Cat 5e. Because, you know, everybody just keeps a whole 1,000-foot roll of Cat 5e on hand, right? But no, seriously, I started making my own Ethernet wires, and realistically, if you have the tools, you have the time, and you have the ability to do so, and you go through a lot of Ethernet, it does eventually become cheaper to make your own. So it's a skill that I'm glad that I started working on picking up. I actually did the networking run for the shed. So my house is, it's a couple hundred feet away from the shed, but when we were setting it up out here, I knew that I needed a high-speed internet connection for stuff that I wanted to do out here. YouTube was not even on the radar at that time. My main goal was being able to hang out here, work on projects, listen to music, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I actually ran Cat 5e. I did not use direct berry cable like I probably should have, but I did run it in conduit. So I have an Ethernet line that runs out here to my shed. And on a good day, I can pull 500 megs down. I can pull 500 megs down over Wi-Fi out here in the shed, which is pretty awesome. Maple Leaf Makers is literally within arm's reach of me. What, your RJ45 crimper? Is that what's within arm's reach? All right, things are about to get noisy. Because this thing is not quiet. Like, the Bamboo A1 is a silent printer that could happily live in my bedroom. That is not the case here. And I'm mildly concerned about the goop. Yeah, turns out it ignored the Z offset command. Good thing I remembered that value. Oh, that's horrible. You guys see, that's the whole problem. The Z end stop tuning that I did was legitimately worthless. It did nothing. Well, I feel like it's not really worth continuing this test, because I feel like any amount of data is going to be skewed from that. Dude, the bed screws are tight, or at least they were, but I'm so the issue that I'm running into with that, oh my gosh, that is terrible. That needs to cool down. So the issue that I'm running into with the leveling is I set it, I had it tight, and then to level the bed required me to significantly loosen the screws up. It wasn't just wobbling because it was wobbling because the nozzle was dragging through the print bed. Or it was it was only dragging through the print bed, but the nozzle was dragging through the print. And I thought I had that set up. So this first layer looks horrendous. So I was hoping, this is the problem I had yesterday. So like I got a really mostly good looking print off of the printer last night. The problem was it didn't start looking good until it got past the Z squish. So like I followed the instruction. So I leveled the bed, okay? That was, you guys saw that, you were here. That was the first thing that we did, was we leveled the bed, okay? And then I did the Z offset thing, but it didn't do, or the Z end stop position, but it didn't, that's really hot. 110 Celsius is pretty warm. But it didn't save or do anything with that value. a few shims with the springs. Okay, let's open that. Let's get this out of here. Okay, get that out of there. Just so you guys know, 110 Celsius is hot. Oh, after I reprinted these parts in ASA the other day, I found the missing one, these bed leveling screws. I mean, if we're gonna start over, we're gonna do it right, and we're gonna start all the way over with this, right? So, I want to make sure that I'm doing things as right as I can. Okay, well, I feel like that's going to be part of the problem. Ow. All right, you get out of here. Okay. Conveniently, the box of spare parts has not gotten very far. Everything that was left over from the build, I conveniently put into this into a filament box, so that way I didn't lose anything. Eventually, these screws are going to find their way into some Gridfinity organization. But for the time being, they're not. So Mark, these are yellow die springs, so they're pretty robust. I would hope that they would be robust enough. I just nearly Linus'd my 3D printer, guys. You just about got to watch an adult male cry out of sheer devastation. Oh, that would have ruined more than just my day. All right, we're gonna add, does that fit? Okay, cool. Ow, that's still very hot. Is that because of the cables? You keep sets of yellows, greens, and blues. Yeah, no. Same effect would be achieved by Oh, what have I done to myself? I have got myself into a... Okay. Big brain time. Nope, that idea's not gonna work either. I'm not trying to take this whole bed off of here, man. Okay, you need to come out of there before you end up going somewhere you're not meant to. Bug. Okay. Would I be able to... Let's see here. Much like all other aspects of my life, I'm probably greatly overcomplicating things for myself because now I'm frustrated and can't see the simple answer to what I'm attempting to do. These are things that I acknowledge about myself. Anybody else just love to make things more difficult than they have to? Okay. That surely has got to be a part of the problem. Get you back in there. Get your little... spring friend back in there with you. I feel like adding some shims down here would have been fine from the start. But again, why would I not make this harder than it has to be, you know? Like, that's not nearly as aesthetically pleasing, I guess, but whatever. Okay, that has got to be 100% part of the problem. I need a set of needle nose pliers. Or to know where the heck my multi-tool is. I wonder if this will fit. Nozzle wrench, maybe? Turns out I didn't have this M3 nut nearly tight enough. I need to see if I can find something to hold it into place so I can actually tighten it back down before I freak out. I'm sure that's a factor. Maybe over here. Oh. Nope. Guess that'll just have to be a thing that I remember to do later. I just nearly exploded this chair too. I'm really not trying to have to take this whole carriage apart. No, I wasn't climbing around on the floor. The workbench is on the other side of the shed. And it has tools on it. But in my infinite wisdom, oh yeah, train wreck is an understatement, homie. In my infinite wisdom, I took most of the tools out of here when I added them to a tool bag, which is not available for use currently. You know those ideas that you have that feel like they're a smart thing to do at the time, and you think, oh, that'll be okay later, and then it's not? Yeah, this is one of those moments. This is one of those moments. I can tell you guys, I am definitely not ready like a Boy Scout. I'm barely functional as an adult. Okay, there we go. It's actually tightening up pretty nicely there now. So I got it to that point. Okay, that could be a huge part of the okay. I need tools because this is not going to work the way that it needs to. Be right back while I go find some needle nose pliers. You're back, guys. I'm back from the pliers search, and the issue that I'm suffering from is certainly not by any stretch of the imagination a lack of having the appropriate tools for the job. More so, knowing where in the heck any of my tools are at this exact moment in time. So, I was not able to source a pair of needle nose pliers. However, I was able to source a pretty cool old multi-tool that my great-grandpa gave me, which should do the trick just fine. And a pretty haggard set of channel locks as well. Which should aid. And I do mean pretty darn haggard. Okay. That is never going anywhere. Freaking ever. So now, put that on there. I wonder how much of my issue was caused by that. Like, how much of the bed leveling was a result of this screw being warbly. Oh no, Mark, that just wasn't very nice, man. You mean you know I have issues? I'm gonna take up some slack with a couple of washers. And then I just want to that one feels fine. So does that one. Okay. So I think at least regarding ease of leveling, that there was a big cause of trouble. At least I would like to think that that was a big part of the problem. I hope that we're gonna solve this lickety-split. Unfortunately, I tend to err on the pessimistic side. You know, that's a great question. What's today, Tuesday? I don't know where he would be. He normally doesn't miss a stream. Normally he's here insulting me the whole time. Also, I want you guys to know that I have had so much fun doing the Voron build here that I think I'm going to make Tuesday live streams a permanent fixture. I think that just as a general standard thing here on the channel, we're gonna stream on Tuesdays. I don't know what we're gonna do every Tuesday. Probably gonna be some variety stuff. But I think we're gonna do a lot of filming or a lot of streaming on Tuesdays. Getting to hang out with you guys for a few hours at a time has been a lot of fun for me. Okay. Everything is shimmed. Grab our power cord that is precariously draped through another 3D printer. Plug this thing in, turn it back on, and replace our build surface. Gosh. Guys, I feel like we have accomplished very little of anything today. So far. We need to get a print off of this thing. We need to get a print off of this thing. All right. Quick auto home. Okay, now we're home, so now we get to do the bed leveling sequence. Let's see here. Well, a few shims seemed to have made a world of difference on tension. Holy smokes. A few shims and fixing things. There's a lot of tension now. Maple Leaf, you have been a big help throughout this entire process and keeping me from absolutely losing my mind. Why am I doing this way? Get out of there. Okay, good with that. I mean, that requires a fair much more amount of force to make anything move around now. I actually might go back later and add some more shims. Pretty good. Gosh, Calyx. People were asking about you. You're later than I was, man. Pretty cool. Okay, so now the issue. So now we need to do the Z end stop calibrate again. Which means I need to move that to 0. Actually, we're going to move the print bed to 1. Now we're back in the center of the bed. Okay, so we're going to do Z end stop calibrate. Let's see here. Okay. So I tried to save the manual probe value, but I got an error saying that manual probe failed. Have you ever encountered that, Maple Leaf? Thanks, Mark. Yes, like Mark said, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss when we go live. Okay, so Maple Leaf. When I did the manual nozzle probe and I landed on my value, I hit accept and it says manual probe failed. Use test Z commands to position the nozzle prior to running accept. Pandelirium. I mean, can I just add this value manually into the config? Don't start at 0. Okay. Let's try to run it again then. I do not. Like, I enjoy having the commands, so I don't want to necessarily run around and play in the config if it's not necessary. I feel like Okay, let's try that. Hey, there we go. Stuff happened that time. Let's see here. Calyx, go ahead and try that. Go ahead and try that bang enter again. All right, the printer is back up. So let's get this print bed preheating. Get this enclosure closed. Oh, so check this out, Calyx. We have a door that closes. It stays closed all on its very own now. All right. See if we can find something that will be a quick and easy little test print. Let's see here. A door is not all that I have done today. Oh no heavens, a door is not all that I have done today. I've re-leveled the printer about 18 times. Let's see, what is something quick and cool that we can try to print? I really don't want to just print a test cube. Does anybody have a suggestion for something that would be small and fun to print? You know, Maple Leaf, it's like you read my mind. we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try one of them. We're gonna get one printing. I'm glad that I started preheating the bed because it takes a minute. If things are not thermally saturated inside of here, it takes a minute to get up to temp when you're trying to get up to 110. But yeah, I just checked, and with the current profile that I'm working on, it should only take us about 35 minutes to print one Maple Leaf Maker's V0 stealth handle, which would be quite convenient to have. Plus, I have black ABS loaded up, so the aesthetic should match. Should match quite nicely. And I'm gonna have to do the Irby eventually. I am not a big fan of the original Bowden pathing on this. Something else that I have on my to-do list is this skirt is the one that goes in the rear of the machine. I need to modify the STL. Actually, I need to modify the step file for this. 2 is more convenient. 2 is more convenient, but 1 only takes half an hour. I need to modify this so that way I can put the Ethernet adapter, the extender that was included with the kit. I want to redesign this part, or at least modify it, so that way my Ethernet jack will line up and be able to fasten in directly into this part. I think that it was a little bit of oversight on Fysetc's part to not include a version of the skirt that would accommodate that. 2 hours later, Mark, has it been 2 hours? No. Do you have them uploaded somewhere? Hark made them. Okay. Well, that is convenient. I don't mind doing CAD work, but if I don't have to do stuff, I don't wanna, you know? Okay, it's been 120 minutes, Mark. It has been 2 hours. I'll admit it. You guys knew what this was gonna be, okay? You knew what this was. Everything about this build has been absolute chaos from the beginning. You knew exactly what this was. I have his GitHub pulled up. I can rummage through that this evening. Or, I guess tonight. It's past this evening. Alright. Well, I don't hear nozzle dragging. I see filament laying down to the bed. Pretty good squish happening. By George. That's a first layer. I feel like I'm watching like my fish tank or something. I maybe should have cleaned this print bed, now that I think about this. There is not a great viewing angle for me here. Calix, you said it was going to take 52 weeks to build the printer. Well, sir, the printer is built and running, and it is 2 weeks from today. It's paying 52 weeks, Mark. Why did the... Oh. Long live the Voron. Maker Mind Nexus. What's up? Thank you for popping in to hang out. I was doing a print last night with embedded magnets on my Bamboo, and I'm actually using Bamboo Studio as my slicer, and I forgot to clear the pause at layer change there. I mean, there is still going to be a lot of tuning that needs done, but I will say this. Thanks to the shims and fixing the front leveling post, the nozzle is not really dragging through the print and dragging the entirety of everything around anymore, which is super fantastic. Oh, this print's gonna suck. Frankly, I'm impressed that a thing that I did with my own two hands is actually working. Like, the fact that mechanically it's pretty sound is mind-boggling. Although, there is something happening on that back corner. Maple Leaf, how much cooling do you run on your ABS parts when you're printing them fully enclosed? I'm not sure. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't spend a lot of time. Excuse me. I don't spend a lot of time tuning printer profiles. So, trying to tweak in filament settings is a really new thing for me. So trying to calibrate the filament portion of this has been slightly difficult. Like, from what I can see, some parts of this are looking absolutely gorgeous. And I'm not sure if it's a Bamboo Studio thing. Okay, I'm running 70% as the max, so I might try upping that. I mean, aside from whatever's going on this back corner after the print resumed, it's looking pretty darn beautiful. Oh, that is getting more heinous as time goes on. Yep. We are gonna call that. Do. Yeah, there. I don't want the print bed to get too cold. Oh wow. So the overhang is also looking pretty rough. Ow. All right, so This is about half gorgeous, half abysmal. Here's the abysmal. And then here's the mostly gorgeous. I mean, it tried. Looks like it had a little bit of a layer shift where it tried to recover. We've got a hole through the side of the part. I think I also need to bump the print temperature. I'm afraid to lower the print temp down too much. I'm already printing it at 245, but I will say, like, it does feel pretty strong. And, I mean, the first layer is on there. I wonder if we don't still need to back off the Z offset a touch. Do know that we're going to give it some more cooling though. Get rid of the pause. All right, let's try it again. Well, let's try it again now, featuring more cooling and no layer pause. I really want to get a good print off of this thing. I would really like to have something to show you guys, you know? Everybody having a good start to the week? Let's bring this into focus here. So I will say, big recommendation that I have is if you're going to print on a printer that has a super thick build plate like this one, I would highly suggest preheating your bed before you even contemplating starting a print, because you want that bed to get nice and thermally saturated. Like, you want the bed hot all the way through. This serves another purpose in a fully enclosed printer like the Voron. You're going to get that hot air building up in the enclosure. Like right now, the chamber temp is about 51.5 degrees Celsius, roughly. So we should get some pretty good layer adhesion with ABS/ASA. But our nozzle's doing a little bit of a droopy. Let's see. I'm letting all that bought air out. I need to add a purge to my print start macro. All right, let's see if this gets any better. There's not a great vantage point for this. Unless, of course, if I come around to your angle and watch this as if I'm part of the audience. I mean, really, it's looking pretty good. These corners are warping up quite a lot, though. Like, it is not doing overhangs well. Like, straight walls are looking gorgeous. Overhangs, not as much. I wonder if I don't have the temperature hot enough. I don't know. I'm new to ABS and ASAs. I've never printed with those before. This is all a new experience for me. I mean, I have, but it was in a really bad enclosure that I made out of styrofoam. I guess I'm just going to have to work on ABS tuning, because from what I can tell, aside from the overhang segment of this part, this is going to be gorgeous. Gosh, that's looking pretty. From my side anyway. My angle shows it pretty. Alright, y'all. Well, it's going to take some time to get this knocked out, but I think that we have left this in a pretty good place. We didn't really get to do a whole lot of what I wanted to do because we had to go back and do some stuff that I had to do. Not ideal, but such is life. I think that's where we're going to leave it for this week. I have some stuff that I need to work on with the printer for next week. We need to do some additional tuning, and I'm hoping that I have this thing printing absolutely beautifully for you, so that way I can show off some really awesome ABS and ASA prints next week. If you haven't already, please be sure to give us a like. That really helps our position in the YouTube algorithm and our discoverability. If you had fun this evening, please consider subscribing. And on that note, see you guys next Tuesday at 8 Eastern. Bye.